Hello, welcome to another EagleSix Airsoft video. We are going to be testing this Marui NGRS. So this one is 416. So this customer's brought this in for upgrade package. So we've done that, and obviously a bit of servicing as well because it's a bit dated. No offence to the gun. But it's obviously been loved and used for a very long time, which is good. So obviously it's what servicing's for. So we're bringing it up to date with obviously the latest package and making sure that obviously it's going to be performing well. So hopefully we achieve that. We've got the FPS piston head installed, FPS piston. We had to replace the blowback bar on the blowback system because that was snapped with a new EagleSix one. We've got the FPS air nozzle. We had to replace the stock tube because the stock tube posts have all sheared off. We did one. I got a second-hand one that was sort of in pretty good condition, so I've popped that on there for you because it was out of stock of the first-hand. Plus, it does reduce the bill a little bit. I've just done that half price for you. We've got the Solink motor, so just the Lite version. You should be able to see the performance from the Lite one today with a 31k motor. We've got the FPS cylinder head, FPS cylinder. We've got the 280 Prometheus barrel. It has a specific cut on that barrel which we needed to match with the number 7 Psionic kit, which does mean you've got a spare Prometheus barrel. So I'm just going to return that to you so you can sell that for some extra cash, because obviously it's a perfectly good upgraded barrel there. We've got the 2 new fire selectors on the side here, because one of the comments was that you'd like obviously a little bit more of a positive click, so I'm hoping I've achieved that with these new fire selectors on the side here for you. They do wear over time, quite literally. They were little tiny flat nubs, if you know what I mean. They should obviously be points, you know, so that obviously you should dig into the receiver to have a positive click to them. So we've got I can't remember if I've done a new spring in there for you, but we've got the FPS dialed in, but I haven't charged you for a new spring. But if you got one in there, then you get a new spring. Then it's fine. So we've got the EagleSix upgraded recoil spring, which obviously gives you that slightly harder kick. We've got the Lilacs castle nut. There was a reason we needed to replace this nut. I think it was because we were using an older stock tube. Plus, obviously, the nut on yours was quite worn. I think it might have even been cracked. But yeah, I've replaced that with obviously this really nice steel one, if you know what I mean. So that's going to give you a lot more longevity over time. Obviously FPS bushings, Prometheus tapper plate, because I believe we had a feeding issue, so we've got sorted that out with the I think we built it all up and then had obviously feeding issues still. So even though we'd obviously installed all of those parts, if you know what I mean, there was we were working on the assumption that we're trying to keep the bill down effectively, you know. So obviously that's the catch-22, isn't it? You know, when people ask us about, I mean, literally I was replying to an email today for a customer about what parts fit a gun, right? And I said, well, here's our upgrade package. It shows all the parts. He said, well, you know, what's the least amount that I can do? Because there's 20 parts there. And I'm like, well, you know, you asked me what fits the gun and what my recommendation. Well, my recommendation is obviously always the most. I mean, like I say, if we all had the choice, you know, we would be driving around in Porsches, wouldn't we? You know, so we all have the most that we could possibly get, you know, for our money, if you know what I mean. So I get the questions, you know. But yeah, we obviously assumed, you know, incorrectly that the original TM tappet plate would be fine, because they rarely break, to be fair to them. But yeah, we got it all built up again and it weren't feeding. So yeah, which I believe was an original problem on the gun. Just more time lost there, unfortunately, is what it is with gun teching. So we went in and replaced the Prometheus tappet plate, with a Prometheus one this time, and we've done some checks, physical checks, where you can put them side by side, and yeah, there was a significant difference. We fit a new Pro spring guide, because obviously we're now in for a penny and for a pound, obviously, you know, upgrading all the parts. You've got the full kit, fully up to date, obviously, with all sort of the latest motor. obviously it already had a gate MOSFET in there, so obviously you already got that particular part in there. Obviously made sure the FPS is really nice. So I believe we're at 272 on a 3.2, which is obviously hitting very hard, if you know what I mean. So the gun's been sitting here for at the end of last week, if you know what I mean, and I showed a couple of customers it and just demoed it to them, and yeah, they were just like, how can I get a gun like this? My guns are not like this, if you know what I mean. So and it's cool. It is a nice feeling, if you know what I mean. So when people pick up the gun and see it and just from the outside perspective, where they've got no sort of view of it other than the guns that they own, a G&G, I think, if you know what I mean. Which is obviously a very nice gun on 11 volt, to then use this and just, almost have like a wow factor. It's nice, it's a good feeling, so yeah. So I'll just demonstrate it now and hopefully you guys see that wow factor, but obviously the speed to target is obviously fantastic. Groupings are great down there, trigger response is excellent. I think the only thing we couldn't do was this bit on the side here. The actual springs are missing. I do have new little latches, but yeah, for some reason the spring's missing from it, and obviously without the spring, the latch is pointless in there and just will not actually click properly. So really it needs a whole new ejection port. So we'll have to possibly do one of them at another point, or kind of just live with it, unfortunately. So a minor thing, the only one that we possibly couldn't do. So but yeah, cool. I'll just demonstrate it. We've had a bit of an issue in testing on this particular one. We had some intermittent firing issues, and it's been a problematic one. This one has to really get down to the point when we're just 100% happy with it. Some of the issues came down to these wiring connectors. Oh yeah, look, it's done again. Look, it's just so easy. It's just something we used to do a while ago. We used to put these little quick change ones on here, basically, because obviously for disassembly you just undo the quick change, and yeah, obviously it's a nice quick way to disassemble it. So but what I'll do is I'll put some more heat shrink on there, because it's just too easy during the installation of the battery to disconnect the wires, which obviously I think is the reason why we stopped doing them long term, because effectively the customer, yeah. So obviously you can do things that work for yourself in gun teching, modify this, chop that, but what can you do, when you obviously give out guns, and sometimes send guns, to customers that sometimes don't know what they're doing, or you send it to the other side of the world, and then obviously you get the customer using an object, and obviously you can't have them just accidentally pulling wires off all the time. So yeah, I'll get some more heat shrink and we'll leave it on this particular case. But like I say, we've definitely moved away from using these quick change connectors, even though it did make disassembly a lot easier for me. So. Cool, so I'll pop a little bit of heat shrink on there, and then this bad boy's ready to go back to its owner, and we hope you enjoy, okay? Thank you.